So welcome to day one. Day one week what? What week are we right now? Week 3, yes. Day one week 3 of the Sharp Academy free web3 educational program. Wow, it's already 3 weeks. So last week we were able to discuss some very interesting topics in web3. And I think we had most interactions last week, most especially during the class for wallet creation. Yeah, it was very, very interesting. It was very, very interesting. And I'm very happy to see that a lot of people are already progressing. So today, we are going to a new topic, and we'll be talking about decentralized applications in Web3. I won't be taking today's class. We have one of our Web3 educators here, Mr. Lawa. He'll be the one taking you today. And I would like you all to know a little bit about Mr. Lawa. Feromi, can you please read the citation?
Okay. Lawan Koyum, a crypto enthusiast with a deep understanding of blockchain technology, exploring and contributing to the decentralized ecosystem with a passion for blockchain technology.
Okay, thank you. Kindly mute your mic so there won't be distractions. Thank you. So, Mr. Lawa is here with us and he'll be teaching us the topic I said earlier. We are all ready for you, Mr. Lawa. We can have you now.
Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. As earlier said by Mr. Sharp, my name is Lawal Koyum. I'm just a regular nigga in the Web3 space. So I will be taking us through decentralized applications and what they are, their usefulness, their purpose, and how they are used. And on the other hand, I'll be taking us through what NFT is, non-fungible tokens. So starting with decentralized applications, automatically we have been hearing the word decentralized through previous classes, and we already know being decentralized is the main purpose of Web3, and that is what makes Web3 much more interesting for us to dive into. Decentralized applications are software applications that operate on decentralized networks. They are just like our regular apps built on decentralized networks, and they are typically built on blockchains. These applications leverage on the consensus mechanism of the underlying blockchain to ensure agreement on the state of the system, removing the need for central authority. During the Web2 phase of this world, data are being stored in a centralized space, which are controlled by corporate organizations from different places. These are things that Web3 looks to eliminate. So when we talk about centralized applications, they are controlled by specific people, and you cannot have access to it unless you go through them. Blockchain technology is already eliminating this, and so far so good. It has been a successful attempt at eliminating it. And decentralized applications are the next step in which blockchains and users interact fluently without hiccups. To know the benefit of decentralizations, enhanced security, these apps are built by different devs on different blockchains. Blockchain automatically comes with its own security that is in place to ensure the user are being protected at all time. Anonymity is at 100% level unless you feel otherwise to disclose yourself. Then censorship resistance. They ensure that we are not under one organization that is dictating for us what we can do, our limits, and how we can interact. Also, transparency. That's blockchain for you. No one is hidden. Nothing is hidden. If you do something, it is there for everyone to see. So decentralization brings transparency, ownership, and control. You can go onto the blockchain today, deploy a contract, and you have it for yourself. You can control it as you like. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you what to do. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you when to do, and so on. Then global accessibility. You can access it from anywhere in the world. Looking at the days of Web2, we have data centers mostly. If you are in Africa during that time, you have tough time accessing your data that is being stored in data centers across the world compared to someone that is in Europe or the United States. The architecture of decentralized applications is kind of complex, but I'm going to make it simple. It is split into three. We have the front end, the smart contract, and the centralized network. The front end is what we see. We have different apps on our phone, the WhatsApp, the Telegrams. What we see, we interact with is the front end. Decentralized apps all have front ends for you to interact with. If you are tech savvy, you might find your way around it and not interact with it to the front end. Smart contracts. In the previous classes during the introductions to blockchain, we might have heard the word smart contracts. They are self-executing contracts with predefined rules and logic. They run on the blockchain and automate the execution of agreements without intermediaries. If you feel like you have an idea in your head, you have a principle in your head, you have something you feel will be of benefit to the whole blockchain, you write the contract, telling the contract the do's and don'ts, what you want with the contract, what you don't want, the limits, the capabilities of the contract. You push it on the blockchain and it's there. You don't need to touch it again. They are self-executing. If you have Ethereum in your wallet and you want to send to another person, you only need just to interact with the front end of the wallet you are using. Might be SafePal, might be Trust Wallet. Just click on send. Submit it to the network. A smart contract is between you and the receiver. It is automatically going to process the transaction and send to the other person. You don't need to tell it, okay, wait, don't send now, send next time, or send next year. Those are basically what smart contracts are. Then the major part of the apps, decentralized applications, is the blockchain, decentralized network. If there is no blockchain, there is nothing to build a decentralized application on. The servers, the storage, the mechanism, and the medium between you and your smart contract. Also, it is very, very important to know that there are some smart contracts that are immutable and there are some that can be tampered with. If you have at the back of your mind that you're interacting with the app that is immutable and eventually it turns on for it to be editable, and push contracts into to modify what has been written before, then you are at the risk of being attacked through that smart contract. There are some challenges and limitations as to what comes with decentralized applications. The number one thing is scalability. The current blockchain networks that we have all have their energy, their strong points and their weak points. The major strong point of them is they are able to process things without the need of humans. So far it is there, and the transactions miners are active, then you don't actually need to do any other thing. But then they all have their limits as to what they can do. That's why we are having the layer 1 blockchains, the layer 2, and in the future we are expecting to have as much as any layers we have. The major reasons we're having different layers is to reduce the mining speeds and easy accessibility for developers to just work on. Because you can't just go onto Ethereum now and be a top developer. It will be a very, very hard job for you to do. But you start from a very lower blockchain, you build something there, then to target a bigger audience, then you can now push such onto a bigger blockchain. So scalability is one of the major issues that we are having with decentralized applications these days. If you're on a lesser blockchain, a transaction might take as much as 10 hours to complete. Same thing might happen on a bigger blockchain if there are some activities that is flooding the blockchain, causing it to drag down. It's just like you having your car, fill it to your full tank, only you in it, driving to maybe a mile away from you. You might reach there in a minute or two. Now compare it to having some other people with you, like 10 or 15 people with you in the same car, you're automatically going to drag down before you reach your location. So if the blockchain is flooded, your transactions will take extremely slow to get completed. And at the same time, you might have problems with your transactions being front-run by other people that are faster than you. The other challenges and limitations that we're having with the apps is user experience. The same way we have experienced front-end developers, it's the same way we have quack developers. User experience should be one of the first things that we have to settle down and look into in crypto space, but the way the world works is not giving us the opportunity to actually look towards that part. Because majorly, let me say 80% of people on the blockchain is looking for ways to earn a source of living. And the major thing that devs looks at is the smart contracts, the database, and the UI, which automatically comes last. If a user interface is bad, you will have problems navigating through the decentralized application. If you want to send and the send button is not submitting the correct API request to the blockchain, you'll be there. That's why you have sometimes JSON error, execution error, etc. It majorly comes from the user interface. Then another part we are having issues with, generally it doesn't limit itself to blockchain as a whole and to decentralized applications as a whole. It is limited to the whole blockchain environment, and that's a kind of regulatory body. Take for instance, we have developers scattered all around the world doing things at when they like. Fine, that is part of the benefit that comes with blockchain. But the way they are setting themselves on the loose is impacting the way people on board onto the blockchain life. If someone is trying to onboard the blockchain and the information is getting to that kind of person is of the negative side of the blockchain, he or she might not consider it important to know how the blockchain works, how it is being done. But if you have a regulatory environment, not a regulatory body, because having a regulatory body will defy what we are after in Web3, which is being anonymous. You just need to have a regulatory environment. Okay, you want to push this decentralized app to the people, push it to us first. Let's see if it is being done well. Is it able to handle the stress load from people that will access the blockchain through your decentralized app, etc. And they're able to vet it enough to be able to work, then yeah, we won't be having a lot of issues with the decentralized apps. And having a regulatory environment is more of the reason why we're having testnets all around. A decentralized app is being pushed to a testnet, and then from there you look at your errors, how you can improve, how you can make it faster, how you can optimize the gas, things like that. And then the last one, which is also peculiar to the whole blockchain as a whole, is the environmental impact. We've had a blockchain on here telling us they run on green energy. Most of these L1 blockchains we have still depends on an energy source that is more or less likely not green enough and is damaging our environment, especially when it comes to mining. The energy request from mining activities is always on the high side. And we humans, as we are, we go to different lengths just to try and make what we want to work without looking at the bad side of it. Some of the benefits of the apps include interoperability and cross-chain solutions. I've made mention of L1 chain, L2 chains. Major L1 chains are Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, etc. And the major L2 chains we are having now that is EVM based is what's it called? ZK stuff like that. Zero knowledge smart chains now. We have them OP, Arbitrum, and the likes, but they are just like a shard of the major L1 blockchains that we have. Now, the app serves as an intermediary between two different blockchains. If you want to bridge a certain amount of token from a blockchain to another one, of course, you can decide as a developer that you are to write the contract that will execute it for yourself. But how many people do you have around the world there that have access to that kind of smart contract, or that can call a contract, or that can write a contract? The app serves as intermediaries between the two of them. You just go on there, you connect your wallet, tell this the app, I need 10 USDT from Ethereum chain to Arbitrum chain. Your own is just to click send, approve the contract in your wallet, and watch how the magic is being done. In a few minutes or so, you have your USDT in your other wallet, in the other chain, and you just be wondering, how is that happen? Without the decentralized interface, you won't be able to do that. Or even if you are able to do it, a very limited amount of people will be able to do it, thereby causing a monopoly of people. And we know how this work is. We are opportunists. They will just use that as opportunity to wreck other people. So looking at the future of decentralized applications and Web3, the future is, let me say, limitless. There is no limit to what we can do when it comes to decentralized applications. or web3 as a whole, there is always an opportunity somewhere, just only for you to look into it and develop from there. Then you are going to make life easier for other people that will use your protocol. Another part of the advantage of decentralized app is DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. These people, in major instances, or let me say, what blockchain built them for or came up with that term for, is to govern smart contracts. Along the line, it was looked into as a way of community to control what is being built and things like that. We have DAOs all around the world now. Different communities are claiming to be DAOs, but majority of them are only focusing on maybe the token part and leaving out the smart contract and governance out of it. If you have DAOs that are looking towards how smart contracts can be better through the use of decentralized apps, it will be a very, very good step towards the adoption of Web3. You as a developer, you write your code, you feel it is not ready for you to push, you can just like write your code and push it on to either app that will look into your code and tell you what it can do for you. Right now, we have AIs that can basically do that for you. But AI is taking away our privacy and let me say anonymousness. No one knows what's going on behind those AIs. So it is not safe yet to push those kind of codes up to AIs for you to just look into and tell you the do's and don'ts. And then another thing is gas optimization. If you look around Twitter now, you see some interactions. The first thing people look at is it free? How much is the gas? These gas are some of the things that is making some people running away from L1 chain. In short, it is the major thing that is sending people away from L1 chain. I believe in previous classes, it has been taught what gas is, how they are being calculated, and what they are used for. So we need decentralized autonomous organization to help us look into how smart contracts can be used in a very efficient way. That it won't be of a burden on our neck, something you have to be contemplating. Do I need this? Do I need to do it? Is it of importance for me? So, example of decentralized applications, the major ones that is very easy for us to see include OpenSea and Uniswap. In our next class, I'll be talking about Marketplace, which include OpenSea. They are decentralized applications. They're easily accessible for you to just open your web browser, then just log on to OpenSea or either Uniswap and just play around it. Then you'll be able to know basically a bit of how decentralized apps are working at. Towards the end of this session, I'll entertain questions. Probably there are some pieces I talked about that you don't understand or you need more clarity on. I will go back to the point and explain how it is being done. So the next phase of this topic of today's class rather is NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible tokens. On the blockchain, what is being transferred from A to B, what is being used to pay gases, or basically the major things that you are doing on blockchain, apart from building smart contracts, always involves a token. They will always involve a token. So on the other hand, we have non-fungible fungible tokens. NFTs are unique digital assets that represent ownership or proof of authenticity of specific items, artwork, or piece of content. The major difference between NFTs and the ID tokens that we have is because NFTs always have its own distinct value and cannot be exchanged on a one-on-one basis. Although you can do that, but that's the basis of NFTs. NFTs are built on blockchain network. That one should be common knowledge. Usually Ethereum, which ensures their scarcity, their security, and their transparency. Each NFTs are recorded on blockchain, making it tamper-proof and easily verifiable. There are major use cases as to what NFTs are being used for. The major use case so far is to appreciate artwork. That's when you see an artist design a very beautiful work, upload it on OpenSea and auction it out. During the days of web2, majorly what we have is artists drawing things on frames from in different dimensions. You enjoy the artwork. You might be in Nigeria and see an artist from some other part of the world develop an artwork that you actually cherish. You have to pay them, then look for a transportation organization to help you ship it out from there to you. Then you hang it on your wall somewhere. Then you then flex around it and be like, oh, this artwork from so I own it. Now we have Web3, which means we can do things in a very limited way. Same artists that do something on an physically can just develop the same thing, or in some other cases, snap it, ensure it is being in the current version, like the best version available, mint it into an NFT, then auction it out. We are now having digital NFT displays like our normal frames. You have your wallet imported into it, then to automatically display specific NFT for you, and it actually beautifies everywhere. So basically, that's what NFTs are for. They show you own this, you own a piece of this. Because in some cases we have collections. Not every time NFTs are one of ones. We have collections. If you possess a certain NFT, you are part of the owners. If it is a collection, and if it is one on one, only you has that certain NFTs. The blockchain is limitless, like I said. Someone somewhere in the whole world can decide to copy your artwork, do something like it, and mint it out. Verifications do happen in the NFT world, so you being verified, your collection can be verified, automatically distinct you out from the other person who did what have you with it. NFTs as what we called rarity. They have rarity, and this in most cases only happens to NFTs with collections. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I don't want to be like you're not hearing me. Okay. Like I said, they have rarity, and it is very, in most cases, limited to.
Well, okay, why you are person?
Can you guys please mute your mic? They are limited to collections. Rarity is the, let me say, the easiest way to define rarity means rank. From a collection of one, to 1,000, you have the most priced collection automatically. That's the first one. And you have the least priced collection NFT, which is the last one. NFTs always come with their rarity. If it is one on one, then no, you have the highest rarity. If it is one of two, in most cases you have the first one and second one. And sometimes it might be the same art that will be split between different people. So NFTs always come with creativity. It always commands creativity. What someone does today, if I decide to do a NFT of A, someone will be like, oh, A is beautiful, but why don't we make it A1? They are actually showcasing their own creativity. Oh, A1 is beautiful, but what do you think of us doing with it? Maybe A3. We leave out A2. A2 might not look beautiful. You talk about it. Why is A2 not beautiful? Why don't you think you should not do A3 and just be staying at A1? It always commands creativity. You sit down, you talk about it, you develop something new, you build on what has been done before. It always commands creativity. That's why in the NFT space, there are a lot of beautiful art pieces scattered around the blockchain that you can always pick at any time and claim the ownership for it. Some of the use cases of NFTs can go beyond art. We have some NFTs these days that contains music, NFTs that will make you an art collector of a specific artist. There was this time someone created a supply chain collection on Solana some years ago or maybe some months ago. Owners that mint the NFT, as at when the guy was done with his album, were actually shipped physical disc, vintage disc of his album, which they all claim they own. And if you look at it in some years now, maybe the artist eventually blows up. You'll be like, oh, I own one of those guys' album. That is being made possible because of NFTs. These days we have virtual real estate too, the metaverse. You claim a portion of a metaverse through your ownership of an NFT. We have domain names too, which we have always seen flying around these days. You could see my own name too. It is commanding a domain name. It is only limited to me. I own it. If you want to do something with me and I say, okay, instead of me just looking at typing my own address or copying it down for you, or just go to this address, go to this domain name, I own it. Anything that you want to do to me, interact with that domain name. Probably when we are talking about marketplaces next time, I'll go deeper into what domain name is, how they come around, their usefulness, their limits, and their what is it called? Their activities on the blockchain. We also have virtual goods. Recently, there has been interactions from Nike, Adidas, others into the blockchain. You see them launching sneaker collections. Instead of you actually having the physical sneakers, you have it on the blockchain too. So they are all virtual goods. And we have NFTs that are being used for gaming purpose. The most popular one that is that you can easily search is Axie Infinity. It happened probably some years ago, and it was mainstream. Some major console gamers actually left console and focused on Axie Infinity, and it was good while it lasted. And we also have some NFTs that actually mean a physical representation of something. You might have a art in your house but you can't possibly be carrying the out up and down, showing people, flexing it all around. I own this art. Instead of you just showing, carrying it up and down, you can just show them your NFT. Okay, see, I own this art, and this right shows you I own it. There are future potentials to NFTs, and their usefulness is not limited. The same way blockchain gives you an unlimited access to opportunities, to things to build on, same way is applicable to NFTs. The major use case from NFTs, other from being used for art, being used for virtual goods, domain names, etc., is decentralized autonomous organizations. I made mention of it when I was talking about the apps. But how do you want to claim you're a member of a DAO? Major ways that is being done is by you owning a NFT. Maybe some other times too, we might go deeper as to what DAOs are about, how they work, how transactions are being signed as a member of a DAO. But how do you claim you're a member? You can use an NFT as your ID card. A, a- Most of us they have our international passports. If you are traveling out of the country and you are at your point of entry, where are you from? Good afternoon. Where are you from? I'm from so country. The next thing you ask you is your passport and your travel documents. In most cases, they may actually not ask for your travel documents, only your passport. That shows you are a member of a certain country, and in this case, Nigeria. So if you have an NFT, it automatically shows, oh, so wallet is a member of this DAO. And in some cases, after having the NFTs, you might have tokens, which will like in most cases um determine your voting rights, your voting power. But what will actually take you into the AO is your NFTs. And like as I have said, the potential is limitless. How can you transfer your NFTs? You can transfer it from someone you know. You might feel okay. I have a project I'm working on now, and I might not have time to look at what's happening in this place. You can transfer your NFT to someone, or you sell it on a marketplace. Marketplace are all around different blockchains. On Ethereum, EVAX, OP, we have OpenSea. On Solana, we have the major one is Magic Eden. We have different marketplaces all around, and all of them works in different ways. That is the beauty of blockchain. I've said it about the apps. They all have the same use case as 2K. You want to sell your NFTs, but the way they do their things is different from each other, and that is part of the beauty of blockchain. If you are interested in an NFT now, you can decide to go to a blockchain. You choose your preferred blockchain. Oh, I want it on Solana, or I want it on EVAX, or I want it on Optimism. Then after you decide your blockchain, what is the market that is having the NFT that I want? You figure that out. You go on there, you check the value, the price, or what you want. You might decide you want the best. You look out for it. Then you purchase the NFT. It automatically comes to your wallet, and that way you claim ownership of the said NFT. The negatives that comes with NFTs is just one thing: the frenzy around it. That's just the only negative so far that has come with NFTs. There are a lot of negative that comes to the blockchain as a whole. The problem is that the blockchain as a whole face. But the only problem NFTs face is the frenzy around it. A very little amount of people on the chain are actually appreciating what NFT is. So it is kind of like limited to a certain percentage of the blockchain users compared to the tokens around the blockchain. Literally everyone is interacting with a token either ways or the other. You might have people with history trading tokens, owning tokens, interaction with different decentralized applications without having NFTs. If the frenzy is not there, if the hype is not there, you might not have a need to have the NFT compared to using the normal tokens that we have. Even if you don't have a need for it, you might just use the blockchain to hold your value and just keep it there. The benefits that comes with the monetary benefits that comes with NFT is in most cases available when you trade the NFTs. Sometimes there might be airdrops that comes with holding certain NFTs, which is another way of rewarding you for holding an NFT. But majorly it has to do with trading your NFTs. If as the blockchain is limitless, you might decide to be an NFT addict or NFT trader and just base your own expertise on NFTs, and for sure you make a fortune around it. So I believe I've covered um, decentralized applications now and non-fungible tokens. Mr. Sharp.
Uh, so it's time for questions now. We are
Yes,
going to,
questions.
yeah. So the thing is, everybody should drop the question they have in the next 5 minutes. So after the 5 minutes, Mr. Lawa is going to attend to all questions dropped. So we'll be back seven. What time is it now? Okay, we'll be back 7:53. I'll be 6:53 rather.
Yeah.
6:53.
Okay.
Ben, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I think Mr. Lawa can start attending to the questions now.
Okay. Thank you very much. The first question I'm seeing here is from Superb Everything, and is asking how to claim a DAO's membership. The major way DAO membership are claimed is when you mint the NFTs, and sometimes when you buy it on the marketplaces. You might feel okay, you like this specific collection and you like what you are doing, but the only way for you to become a member is if you own the NFTs. You can just go to the marketplace and purchase the NFT. Automatically you become the member. Some DAOs announce for minting the NFTs, this is what they want to do. This will be their use, and if you like what they are offering, you can just mint the NFTs when it's available for you to mint it. It automatically, it in most cases command certain amount of gas fee for you to mint the NFT, and it will cost you your money or the value of the NFT if you are to buy off marketplaces. And if you are lucky and you are maybe able to talk to one of the team members, you feel like you are important to them, and once you onboard you, it can as well send you the NFT. Those are the three ways to get a DUS membership through NFT. Abiola Adekunle, can NFT be given protection like other works of art? Of course, we haven't got to the part of how to secure yourself in the web3 and blockchain environment. But then, the major way to protect your artwork is just to make yourself not stupid enough to give someone else an access to your wallet from any means. There are different means in which your wallet can be accessed, and this will be talked about when we get to the phase of how to secure yourself in blockchain. So it is coming in coming days or weeks towards the end of this webinar. But the number one rule is don't give anyone access to your wallet, either by connecting to a scamming contract or being careless enough to give out your private key, or maybe putting your seed phrase on somewhere that is accessible by other people. So if you have done your homework of doing the basics, be rest assured your NFT and your artwork cannot be stolen. Also, authenticity, what's it called? NFTs have duplicates. And in these cases, that's why marketplace automatically verifies the legit collection. So you see a blue tick next to your collections to show it is verified. And if you do research around it, you know this NFT is the verified version and not the dummy version of the NFTs. So you just have to be careful enough and patient enough not to run into the scamming versions of NFTs. Always go for the verified collections in any NFT you want to purchase or mint. So that way you'll be protected at all time and not lose your money in a silly manner. Are there disadvantages of NFTs? Is there a major disadvantage? Maybe there is no major disadvantage to NFTs. There is no major disadvantage to it. If you are able to get an NFT, you get it, you protect it, and you claim ownership for it. And if you're unable to, if the value is higher than what you can afford, you just have to look at it from afar. And the perks that come with such NFTs, because your pocket cannot afford it, you are not able to access that to art well. So there is no major disadvantage of NFTs. You can lose money with it. I made mention of trading NFTs when I was talking about the monetary benefits of NFTs. And if you want to base your skill set to trading NFTs and be an NFT enthusiast, then of course you can lose money with it. So that would be a disadvantage personally to you, but to the blockchain as a whole, there is no what's it called? There's no disadvantage to it. Mr. Dewey, you asked, is it possible to own a part of an NFT just as a person can own a part of a cryptocurrency? Yes, there has been development in the NFT world these days when you can hold shards of an NFT, a one of one piece that is being split into different parts, like that you can own, but it's not mainstream yet. So for now, you're only limited to a part of a collection. If it is a one-on-one collection, only you owns it. But if it is a collection of 10, 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, you can only own one of it. You can own much of it if you feel like you like the NFT. You can decide to buy 10 of it. You can decide to buy 50 of it. If you feel that's your own way of supporting the NFT project, you can buy as much as possible. But there is no way of holding different parts of NFTs that is mainstream for now. Most of them are still in development phase, and they are available to be tried by the higher end users, people that actually know the do's and don'ts of NFTs. So you can't particularly own it in bits. Like you said, you have to own a piece, a specific piece at least. So it can't be shared. Yeah, it can't be shared. You just have to read it in a piece. I believe that's the last question. Are there any other questions, particularly to decentralized applications? Because I'm not seeing any questions. Mike Doyen, can you trade NFTs? Of course, some are tradable and some are not. I made mention of immutable smart contracts some other time, which comes with blockchain. If your NFT is immutable, meaning you can only own it, then you can't trade it. It is stuck to your wallet. So there are some that you can't trade. But majority, let me say 99% of NFTs are tradable. They are tradable. But that they are tradable doesn't mean all of them worth a big value. An NFT can be as cheap as a cent, and the limit as to the value, it is limitless. The value will command the price that the NFT will worth. So I believe I've answered all the questions for now. Thank you very much for having me. If there's still some other questions, I'm still very much available to answer them.
Mr. Lawal, we are very, very happy for what you have done for us. Actually got to learn a lot too because I'm not I'm not into the NFT sector that much. And okay, Mr. Lawal, there's a question. There's one more question somebody just left.
Can you acquire NFTs through the drop? Yes, very, very well. You can be given NFTs as an airdrop. It has been happening recently, very, very much recently. I made mention of testnets some other time like that. If you participate in a testnet, some blockchain gives you NFT as a thank you that you participate in their testnet. And some might feel okay because you own a certain token of their collection. Say for instance, you own 10,000 naira, they feel like, okay, thank you for holding 10,000 naira. They give you this certain NFT and you own it. So you can definitely for sure acquire NFTs through airdrop. airdrops can come in any form. I believe it will still be talked about in coming weeks about airdrops and everything surrounding it. But yes, you can acquire NFT through airdrops.
Okay, good. I think we are done with the questions now. So as I was
Yes,
saying, thank you so much for honoring our invitation and being one of the Web3 educators at Sharp Academy. And thank you for imparting your knowledge into the students. We are really grateful for that.
thank you very much, sir.
And we will still be expecting you tomorrow. So I've actually learned a lot. I've actually learned because I'm not so good in. Okay, my voice is low. Really? Let me check my mic. Let me check my mic. What's going on? Hold on. Okay, can you hear me now? My PC was connected to my phone. Okay, very good, very good. Sorry about that. I didn't realize my PC was connected to my phone. So what I was saying was that I learned a lot from this class actually, because I'm not into the NFT sector, and I'm very, very impressed with what I've heard so far. So I'm just going to go through what Mr. Lawa has taught us today. He taught us about its decentralized applications in Web3. And what's the short form for decentralized applications? Can somebody help us out in the chat? The short form for decentralized applications. It is DApp or DApps. Douglas said that no, it's a different thing. So DApps or DApps, decentralized applications, and he said these are applications that are built on decentralized network, meaning they are built on the blockchain. Then he went ahead and told us some features of decentralized applications, where he mentioned transparency and how accessible it is to anybody, and how accessible it is to anyone, no matter where you are. Then after he mentioned the features, I think he mentioned the disadvantages too, where he said once it is flooded, your transaction might be a little bit slow. And he made an example of, he made use of a car as an example, that when you have a car of your own, full tank, and you have to go to a place, let's say a mile away, you are going to get there easily, no disturbance. But let's say you have to go through you have to go to your destination with a public transport. You are going to be slower. You are going to be slower. You can't compare the speed of your transport to that of when you have your own personal car. So similar to blockchain, once the network is congested, the transaction might get a little bit delayed, which I made mention of last week, explaining why Ethereum's network and gas fee might be a little bit high. So he also mentioned uh, some disadvantages too. He made mention of environmental effects, because to get the blockchain up and running, especially when it comes to mining, you require a lot of energy, and most of this energy are dangerous to the environment, except if it's a green energy that serves as a source. So Robona, for instance, it's green energy, meaning it's eco-friendly and environmental friendly. when he talked about, after I finished talking about decentralization and decentralized applications, then he went further and discussed about NFTs. Can somebody help us with the full meaning of NFTs? NFTs. They are non-fungible tokens. So he described NFTs as they're like a digital asset on the blockchain. They're digital assets on the blockchain, and they have different use cases. So they are basically artworks that you own digitally. They could be any picture, line. So it could be any kind of artwork. It could be a picture, it could be a dot, it could be just a line. It's an artwork and you own it digitally. So he mentioned some use cases. He said artwork, yes, for those people that loves artwork, like they just want to keep it and oh, I love this piece. That's one of the use case of NFT. Then he mentioned gaming too. I could remember a lot of people were interested in gaming, in NFT games when I first introduced it to this class. A lot of people were asking for games that they can play to fetch money or to earn money. We made mention of Axie Infinity. I think that's the most popular NFT game. I don't know if it's the first actually, but I know it's very, very popular. And I got to hear about it in, I think, 2021. That was when I got to hear about it. I was working with somebody then who bought Axie Infinity's NFT. I think worth 10 Ethereum then. Then he hired gamers. He had gamers to play the game. And the reward the gamers get, we are going to split it 70-30. The gamers get 30%, and the owner of the NFT gets 70%. So NFT has a lot of use cases. Imagine you are earning money just from playing games. NFT made that possible. NFT made that possible. And he mentioned another use case where he mentioned DAO, decentralized autonomous organizations. He said these are organizations that like they are created to, as their name implies, manage and organize the blockchain. Yeah. So he said it's very possible an NFT could be an ID card to an entrance to a decentralized organization. Without the NFT, you can't enter anywhere. Okay, I'm going to give you an instance now. For those that were present last Saturday, the AboSwap bot that you registered on last Saturday, an NFT is already linked to your account. An NFT is already linked to your. If you check your profile, you are going to see a section which says NFT wallet. Then you see a wallet in it. An NFT is already in that wallet. So as you proceed, the level of your NFT increases. And as your level increases, you have the chance to join different groups. I think for those people that just started last Saturday, you only have access to 2 or 3 groups now. 2 or 3 groups. But once your points increases, and then you level up from NFT rank 1 to NFT rank 2, you have access to more groups. Instead of 3 or 2, I think you should have access to 5 groups now. So that's how NFT works in DAO, so in decentralized organization. It's like an ID card. It's a pass to the community. So that was basically all what Mr. Laha said. That's just a short summary of what Mr. Laha said. And I actually like this question. Let me see. Who asked the question? Somebody asked the question. Is it possible to own a part of an NFT? This is a very good question. Before Mr. Lawa answered, I was like, no, it's not possible to own a part of a crypto of an NFT. But when I heard his answer, I was surprised. Like I said, I'm not so vast in the NFT sector. So it's a very good question. And for this question, you should be getting something. Where is 5 USD? Okay. So I actually got to know something new with this question you asked, Adeoye. I got to know something. I didn't know you can. Although he said it's still in progress. It's not yet in mainstream. But I'm very happy I got to know this. I'm very happy I got to know this. So that's all for today. I've already dropped the attendance form. Let me see if we can get it back. I already dropped the attendance form while the class was going on. Okay, I'm going to drop the attendance form again. I've dropped the attendance form. Please fill if you are here to do so. Please fill up the form if you are here to do so. So do we still have okay. I'm trying to okay, Mr. Lawa, I need your help with something. Can you just tell me your favorite number, please? Just a number. Just give me one number.
73.
What?
Is
I can't hear you, please.
27.
27. Okay. I'm going to check for the 27th person that filled the form, and the person is getting 5 BSD too. So that's 10, and we'll be done for the giveaway today. So let me just check that now. Let me just check. Oh God, Harmony is partying because Harmony filled the form twice. So she had the spots 26 and 27. That's so weird. That's so weird. Harmony is getting the oh wow. Wow. At Ghost, Harmony is partying. Miss Temitope, what's the name of your baby? I can hear his voice. All right. Thank you everyone for joining today's class. Thank you everyone, and see you guys tomorrow. I have no special announcement to make. But yeah, see you guys. We sent out the newsletter yesterday. We sent out the newsletter yesterday, and what was in the newsletter was day 1 to day 5, week 2. All the sessions we had, the link to the classes is in the newsletter. And also, we added a very important message to it, that we'll be having a Twitter space. It's just like a call, just like we're having it now. We can do the same on Twitter. So we are going to be having an event on Twitter space in the nearest future. It's going to be a panel talk with some experienced guys in the crypto space. So it's going to be fun. It's basically going to be cruise. You are not coming to learn per se, yeah, but based on what we discuss, because we'll be coming in with different kind of views. It's people that are experienced that will be present in this particular Twitter space. So please make sure you follow my page, my Twitter page, and also the Sharp Academy page, so you won't miss out. So yeah, and that's all for today. See you guys tomorrow. Sleep well. Wait, where's Elizabeth? Elizabeth, where are you? You didn't talk today. I didn't see you say anything today at all. Okay, I've seen Juliet. I've seen Harmony. Although TOT is not a lady, I'm not supposed to ask about you. But I've seen TOT too. Somebody else. There's somebody else. There's somebody else. There's somebody else. There's somebody else. Elizabeth, you couldn't hear anything. How is that possible? Yeah, where's Mr. Ike too? He ghosted. There's somebody else I'm missing. Let me see. Do you have Mr. Simon here? Do you have Mr. Simon here? Yeah, Juliet is here already. I've seen Juliet. I'm just trying to check up on everybody. Okay. Yeah, Nelson. Yes, Elizabeth, where's Nelson? Elizabeth, where's Nelson, please? Where's Nelson? All right. It was fun talking to you guys. Yes, where's Nelson? Let's meet tomorrow. Preserve your data. Don't waste your data. Don't watch too much of TikToks. So, see you guys tomorrow, and bye.